And I don't want to use that machine where you throw your money in and they take 10 or 15%. I don't know what they take, but I'm too cheap to pay them.
9.8, I'll tell you.
Is that what it is?
9.8.
Well, that's, you can do it yourself. I don't know, you would have to adapt whatever machine you have to my method. I have a vibroprobe. It vibrates. I'm going to put this in. I usually put the solution in, but this way you can see how it doesn't tumble it. It vibrates it with stainless steel shot. I use that initially with this. This is a burnishing solution. When dirt and stuff comes off, it keeps it from going back onto your item. It takes it off and holds it in the solution. You use it, 3 ounces of this concentrate in a gallon of water. That means you're going to get 20 gallons of this solution. And I use just that little amount, just enough to cover up the stainless steel shot. I take dirty coins, like you get out of the ground, dirty pennies, and with the burnishing solution, it removes the dirt. And actually, they have a little pinkish tinge to them, but it is good enough that you could roll them and put them in the change. People do not want you to give them dirty money. And if you want them cleaner than that, I would strongly not guard against putting the zinc pennies. 1981 and up, the zinc memorials. Most of the other memorials in the 60s and 70s and late, 60, they started in 58 with the memorials, 59, somewhere around there. They'll come out looking like this, like they came out, and you roll them up like that, or you just carry them in your pocket and dump them out and change. What you do, in order to get them this way, is after they've been running the vibrator and got to the point I'm doing this so that when you come up you can see what it's doing. I just got water in it now. Sir?
How long do you let that run?
I do it for a couple hours. Most people tell you don't clean coins. Don't clean, in most cases, valuable silver. But you get to the point where you can't see the date on it. What good is it? So I use baking soda on silver coins, common silver in most cases, but occasionally you get a coin that's black and you can bring the details out by just using water and baking soda, making a little paste. It will clean the oxidation off, because you get black oxidation. But you don't want to over clean it. That's what some people do. They over clean it, and then it's just, Rob's done one back there, a seeded dime. He's done it with a little baking soda, which is just about right. You can see the detail on it because you've got a contrast with the dark and the light. If you overdo it, you can actually take off some of the patina or some of the dates, like Standing Liberty Quarters. You overdo Standing Liberty Quarter with those dates that you can barely see anyway, the dates are gone. So I use this system mostly on common coins. I get over $500 in common money this year that I should have done like Eric. Eric started it probably 15 years ago or something like that, taking all his common coins, cleaning them, and buying gold coins. Back 15 years ago, for $500, you could probably get four nice gold coins. And today, those coins are worth considerably more. But on the clad coins, it's a little bit different. I only use the three-step process: the cleaning to get from dirty coins to the clean coins, and then using the works toilet bowl. What I do to get the last and final step is I take and put a little of the works in this jar, throw the coins in there, leave them a couple minutes at the most. I turn on the hose. I do it out in the garage because this stuff is caustic. This is poison, so you keep it away from kids. Keep it where you know where it's at, where they can't get to it. This stuff is the same way. If you drop it on carpeting, it'll put a hole in your carpeting. But if you put it in stainless steel, it'll stain stainless steel unless you dilute it immediately, right away. So I take and put it in here, a little bit in here, throw the coins in, and then I rinse it. I'm out in the garage. I get the hose and I rinse it off, drain it off, rinse it again, drain it off, a little bit more rinse. Then I take and I put them in the tumbler. Now, what it's done is start to take the oxidation, because there's still oxidation on these, and it will remove that, and you'll come out with this. Now, this process here, from step 1 to step 2, couple hours. This might take 3 or 4 hours. Could even leave it overnight. It doesn't make any difference. And I use this to drain it. I take this, drain it into here. It catches my stainless steel. I rinse it in the sink. After it's been diluted and then put into burnishing solution, I rinse them off in the sink in the utility room. But on the nickels, can be done almost the same way. There's a third step in here that you don't see unless you come up and see it. What happens with if you have nickels, dimes, and quarters, you're clad in with the nickels, it will clean them. Then on the next step where I put the works in, and I start throwing these already cleaned clad and nickels in together, that may take 5 or 6 hours, overnight even. They'll come out with a yellowish, greenish tinge to them. All you do is drain it, drain your water, put back in the burnishing solution, and let them run overnight, and you've got coins come out like new. That's on your clad and your nickels. If you have only nickels, you can sometimes skip this. The nickels are a different alloy, so they will come silver on the first if you only have nickels in. But if you have dimes and quarters clad in and run them for 5 or 6 hours, they will turn this yellowish color, and then you'll have to use it again. But this last time I had a bunch of nickels that Terry had, so I just ran nickels, and they didn't come out yellow. After using the works, after they were cleaned, first of all with the burnishing solution, that takes all the dirt off. This, I put them in to the works, rinsed them off, put them in the vibrator overnight, and they came out sparkly. But if you're going to do the clad dimes and quarters with it, they will sometimes come out, most of the time, if you leave them in there 4 or 5 hours, they're going to come out with this yellowish tinge to them. But a second treatment with the burnishing solution takes it all off, and they come out shiny.
And how long do you leave it on that last treatment with the burnishing solution? Overnight?
You can.
Okay. I've
left it a couple days. Forgot about it, and I think running. It doesn't seem to make much difference, but you should do it at least 4 or 5 hours to get all the yellowish tinge off of it and come out shining silver. There are a lot of other ways. We've been digging in Metro Park, digging deep Indian heads and wheat pennies that are green. Now, you have to treat almost everyone individually. I use a little brass brush. What I do though is I soak the coin, because what happens is when you take it out of the ground, it's green. Okay, you put it in your bag, it dries out. So now that crust is hardening on there. So if you leave it set in you say you got some real green ones, leave them set in a little dish of water for a couple days. They're going to soak up that water, and that's going to soften that green, where you can use a little brass brush like this that doesn't do much damage, but it's taking off the green, the corrosion. If you need to take off more, you got a little harder brush. You can use this brush. This is a hard bristle brush for cleaning, even field cleaning coins. But it will work the same way on brass items, on copper items. It'll come out just like this. Some things that are plated is going to remove the plating. But sometimes there's so much plating going off of it anyway that, okay, it's copper with a nickel plating or something like that. But most of the plating's gone anyway. You can remove the plating by leaving it in the works a little bit, a couple more minutes, and putting it in there. Then you're at least one color. If it's all brass, sometimes they just don't look good when there's part of the plating left on them. Sometimes it's better to remove it all. I will caution against cleaning silver coins in this vibroprobe. They get a color that's not a true silver color. It's more like almost like a clad color. Some I have done it because they were black. They were corroded so badly. I found the worst barber dime I have ever found in my life. I've been doing it 46 years. And the worst barber quarter and the worst Merc dime, all in this 1 year, where you knew it was a Merc dime, but that's about all you could tell. You can put it in there and it's not going to do any more damage, but I wouldn't say put it in here because it's not going to. You can do Indian heads. They'll come out shining like that, but if they're pitted badly, you're going to lose some of the detail. I've got some Indian heads that I've done there, and I would take each one separately and decide how I'm going to do it. And trial and error. You say, okay, I'll just brush this off, or I'll take a toothbrush, brush it off. I have this Wenall. It's a jewelry polish, and it does a fabulous job. We used to use this in the Army. You use Brasso on your belt buckles,
Never know.
but you use this Wenall, and it would make your buckle just shine like a new penny. I mean, I could take jewelry back there and make it look like new. We used to, on silver, used to bomb it, what we call bombing. This is what jewelers do. If you have jewelry that they can't buff, it's too ornate or filigree, they would take and bomb it with cyanide and hydrogen peroxide. And we've done it, and it takes all that oxidation right off. You can't do it indoors, you gotta do it outdoors, because you're looking at cyanide, which they use to gas chamber. But I found that this way, by using the baking soda, you can use Tarnex. It will remove some of the tarnish that you can't get off with the baking soda. But I caution you about cleaning at all. They tell you not to clean, but if it's not seeable, what good is it? If you can't make the date on it, it doesn't make any difference. It's common money. It can be cleaned this way, or you'll have to adapt it to whatever you have. I use this spoon, I stir it. Maybe after an hour, I stir it in there just to make sure that sometimes your coins will get, if you have too many coins, they get next to each other and they're not going to be exposed to the stainless steel or the burnishing solution because there's so many of them in there. So by just stirring it a little bit, it gets them as clean as necessary, and then you want to make them cleaner, you go this way. Let's see what else. I got my drain, baking soda, Tarnex, also this. Now, I found this works real well on buffalo nickels. Buffalo nickels, after they come out of here, you see the nickels, maybe I don't want to put them through this whole process and possibly lose some of the date. Because just like Standing Liberty Quarters, they have, by using this quadruple aught steel wool, it's like, it will remove and leave the highlights. So you can take and bring out the date without over cleaning it. It's best not to over clean. But on the common stuff, you can do it, and I roll it up, I take it to the bank, and I don't pay anybody to have a machine to take my money. But I say this is, it came from Rio Grande, and 20 gallons of this is a lot. That's what you'll get out of here. I think that's about all I've got to cover. You can use Wenall on, you can even use it on buffalo nickels. You can use it, mostly I use it on jewelry. Because there's some rings back there, you can't believe what those rings will look like this. You'll get a little black off, and they shine. The gold it does a fabulous job on, and silver. It just brings it all out.
Yeah, can I ask you a question about that Tarnex?
Yeah.
Does that Tarnex work good on coins?
It will work, yes, it'll work good on coins. I take it and I put a silver coin in this dish, or I got another dish, and with a little Tarnex in it, and I take it off, and I rinse the coin off. and then I use a little baking soda. What the Tarnex does is start to remove the oxidation, the tarnish. Okay, I don't want to remove all of the tarnish, so I would rather use the baking soda where I can control it. If you put it in that Tarnex and leave it overnight, you may even ruin a silver coin. But by taking a little, leaving it in the Tarnex for 10 minutes or something like that, take it out of there, it's had a chance to work, to loosen up the oxidation, and then you use a little baking soda, and to whatever degree you want that coin to look like. I mean, you use enough of it, you can make it shine.
Yeah, what I wanted to add, well, okay, say you got a really dirty, silver spoon that has a lot of, might have like a rose or something on it. Where,
Yeah. Yeah, you can use the Tarnex on it, and
put it in that Tarnex.
I put it in the Tarnex, leave it a couple minutes, start using some baking soda.
Yeah.
Then use the Wanol, and it'll shine like a new penny.
Yeah, but the thing, what I'm asking, will that Tarnex like remove like a top layer of that silver, or does it just?
No,
affect
it
the,
removes the oxidation. The
that's all.
oxidized, but if you leave it long enough, it will.
Well, yeah.
Like I say, but I don't leave it in there very long. I just, a short period of time, enough that I can remove some of the oxidation. And I want to, a lot of times I don't even use that unless it's really heavily oxidized. And it'll remove it, and then I start using the baking soda to get it to the degree that I want. It's like I was looking at Rob's coin and I said, maybe I could get that a little brighter, because he has a little gray in the background, but it's a beautiful coin, and it's done right. You use the baking soda, just leave it that way, because the detail is there. Say you can make it. You see some of the coins. I've cleaned most of my common silver coins there, and I can clean them more, but just enough that they can be seen and they look better to me, clean. I've got some buffalo nickels here that I haven't put in the Works toilet bowl cleaner, but I've been able to use that quadruple lot steel wool on them after they've been in the burnishing solution and cleaned to this grayish tinge here. By using the quadruple lot steel wool, I can bring it out to where I want it. You see, you can bring what dates you want, and you can use a little bit more, you can take a little bit more off. But you want to get to the point where you can see the date, see the detail, without removing any of the detail. That's why I like this vibrator rather than a tumbler. To me, a tumbling with stones, people do it with gravel and everything, to me just is like, man, this is when you come up, I'll have it running so you can see exactly how it's vibrating, and I'll even throw some coins in there so you can see. I haven't thrown any burnishing solution in there. I just have water in there, because when it's nothing but the stainless steel shot, it makes a lot of noise. But you can see how these buffalo nickels come out with just the first time with the burnishing solution, and then a little bit of that quadruple lot steel wool. It'll take some of the rustish color off.
How would you clean a large cent?
A large cent?
Or a 2-cent piece, you get them there in bad shape.
The 2-cent piece I got this year, I didn't clean. I just took the dirt off of it. I didn't clean it. Large cents, some of them, you may, it depends if it's green and corroded, you may have to use this brass brush, soak them, I like to soak them so they'll absorb, any of that corrosion absorbs that water. Because that's what's, it has it in the ground, it's absorbed the water, and that's what's causing the corrosion. So if you can soften that corrosion a little bit and then wire brush it, it helps to remove it, but without removing too much. In fact, sometimes I've had them where they're green, the bright green. The dark green corrosion, that's a little bit different. You want to leave a patina. If there's a nice patina on it, you don't want to take the patina off. But by just rubbing it, and you'll even see some of the green in your water as you're using. I use water and the brush, and you can see the green coming off, and you just get it to where you can see the date. If you over clean it, I've got some Indians over here. I tried with a little. They'll come out. I couldn't make the date out, but by putting them through the works solution, they shine. They shine just like the other pennies, but you lose some of the detail because they're corroded. So sometimes you want to leave the Indian heads alone. I have different degrees of how they clean. So they come out of the ground that way. They come out, some of them nice, and some of them just so bad that you can't do anything with them. But at least you can make the date out of them. Some of them you just couldn't make the dates without me doing that. I've got a bunch of them that I can get the dates by doing that. But that's but you lose the detail because it's going to take out the pitting, and it'll clean the coin. It'll take all that green out of there.
But Jim, just to make sure on the works now, the clad coins, you can leave that in the works for a long time, but not the pennies.
The pennies you could too. Yeah, the pennies you can leave, 4 or 5 hours
In the works.
in the works. No, nothing do I leave in the works for any period of time. You can run it in the burnishing solution afterwards. These are clean pennies. I put them in here with the works. Leave them only a couple minutes and rinse them off. You don't leave them in any of these coins in the works for any length of time. Then you use the burnishing solution that will remove the oxidation that the works has loosened up.
Okay.
And then it comes out the way you want it to. Clean. You can put those right into change. And same with the money. So I'll turn this on. If there's any questions, you would have to adapt, like I say, adapt this to what equipment you have. But I use this to when I dump the water out, or the burnishing solution, I rinse it in the sink. And I have these colanders. They catch the stainless steel shot because a stainless steel shot is $10 a pound.
What size shot is
It's just,
Jeweler's shot, it's called. Yeah.
it's different shaped shot. Have all different types of shapes of shot.
Take this one.